the interconnection between the Lagna chart and the Navamsa chart. So in this video, I have found out a circuit, right? And this circuit is an interconnection between the D1 chart, that is the Lagna chart, and the D9 chart, that is the Navamsa chart. And this is really a groundbreaking discovery. So in this new year, this is the first video that I'm making, and I have not been making videos for the past 2 months because I was busy with certain personal commitments, but now I am back. So I'm going to start this year with a bang, and I'm going to reveal to you the secret as to why a particular Rashi falls in the first house of your D9 chart or the Navamsa chart. So whenever you open your Navamsa chart, right, whenever you see your D9 chart, so there is a different Rashi falling in the D9 chart, first house, and there is a different Rashi, that is a zodiac sign, falling in the first house of your Lagna chart. And there are so many people who have no clue altogether as to why there is a difference of Rashi falling in the Navamsa chart, number one. B, what is the significance of that Rashi, that is that particular zodiac sign, which is the ascendant Rashi of the D9 chart, and how the D1 chart influences this D9 chart through this Rashi connection. So if you want to know about the secret of the interconnection between the D1 chart and the D9 chart, and if you want to have a fabulous new year 2022, then first you have to subscribe to Purab's Astrology, guys, because only if you subscribe to Purab's Astrology, then you will get access to such groundbreaking discoveries on astrology. And after watching this video till the end, if you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike this video, hit the dislike button, but show me your genuine reaction. So hey guys, what's up? I hope you guys are doing great, and I welcome you back to Purab's Astrology. Let's dive into the subject because already I've created the hype, I know. So have you ever wondered why Maharishi Parashara gave so much of importance to the Navamsa chart in the divisional charts and the Shashtiyamsa chart? But because this topic is about the D9, that is the Navamsa chart, so I'll restrict it to D9 only, because in the general horoscope, that is the Lagna chart, the ascendant chart, the 9th house is given the most importance because that is the house of your fortune, your destiny. And if fortune smiles over you, if your 9th house is good, if you're a fortunate person, then whatever may be the negativity in your horoscope, you will overcome everything just because you have a good 9th house in your horoscope. And similarly, among the divisional chart, the D9 chart, that is the Navamsa chart, has a major importance because one, it is the 9th divisional chart, so that's why it is the future of your life, it is the fortune of your life, your second half of life, it is your life after your marriage, that is after you get married, the Navamsa chart gets activated. I've seen it manifesting in my personal chart, so I think it holds true. The belief is true up to my experience and my limited knowledge. The next thing is, it shows the actual strength of planets, that is the true dignity of planet and the true placement of planets, because if planets are weak in the Navamsa chart, then they are not that strongly placed, right guys? Now here goes the mystery which I'm about to reveal. Now every person has a different Navamsa chart, right? So in my Navamsa chart, Sagittarius sign falls in the first house. Similarly, maybe in your Navamsa chart, Cancer sign falls in the first house, or say Leo sign falls in the first house, or say Taurus falls in the first house of the D9 chart, right? So why do you have a particular Rashi placed in the first house of your D9 chart? Because that particular Rashi's energy will play a major role in sustaining your marriage. It will play a major role in stabilizing and sustaining your married life, the overall experience that you will get from your married life. So what you need to do is open both your horoscopes, the Lagna chart, that is the D1 chart, and the D9 chart, that is the Navamsa chart. Okay, keep it side by side, right? Now see which particular Rashi is falling in the first house of your D9 chart. Okay, for example, say let's take in my case, Sagittarius sign is falling in the first house of the D9 chart, right? So in the Lagna chart, that is the D1 chart, Sagittarius sign is falling in my 9th house in my case, right? So it is ruled by Jupiter and it is the 9th house of spirituality, God, goddesses, worshipping God, religion, spiritual journeys, higher philosophy, and self-discovering higher truths of life. Now, take this Sagittarius sign and understand the connection between the D9 chart and the D1 chart, right? There is a specific reason why the Navamsha chart has a Sagittarius Rashi falling in the first house. This Sagittarius sign is instrumental in sustaining and maintaining harmony and giving, support to the married life. So, if I have to give you the crux of my discovery, it is something like, if I have to sustain my married life properly, then first I have to look which is the first Rashi in my Navamsha chart. In my case, it's Sagittarius. Then I have to see in which particular house that sign is falling in the Lagna chart, the D1 chart, the ascendant chart. So, in my case, it is falling in the 9th house, right? So, as I said, the 9th house is the house of faith, fortune, God, goddesses, worship, religion, guru, spirituality, teachers, wisdom, knowledge, higher degree diploma courses. So, if I have to sustain my married life, no matter whatever may be the debilitated planets in my D9 chart, I have to pray to God. I have to worship. Whenever I face problem and trouble with my wife, in my married life, then I have to make a spiritual journey, or I have to sit and do puja of Ma, worship Ma Kali. As long as I will be activating my 9th house, Sagittarius sign Rashi, till that time, my married life will sustain no matter whatever Rahu, Ketu and negative placements are there in the 7th house of the Lagna chart and the D9 chart, and whatever Saturn is debilitated. Similarly, let's say that in your horoscope, right, Cancer sign is falling in the first house of the Navamsha chart, and this same Cancer sign is falling in the 4th house of your Lagna chart, that is the D1 chart. So what do you need to do? What you need to do is, you need to understand Cancer sign properly first and the 4th house properly first. 4th house is all about, and Cancer sign is all about giving nourishment, care, comfort, peace of mind and a support, right? Now take this energy of Cancer sign, and when it is placed in the 1st house of your Navamsha chart, you have to be caring, understanding, comforting, peace loving, and give all the comforts to your life partner. Then your married life will sustain no matter whatever the negativity is there in the D1 chart and the D9 chart. So you have to understand, this is very deep, guys. You have to understand, you have to watch this video again and again, and then only you'll be able to understand. Similarly, let's say Leo is falling in the 1st house of your Navamsha chart, Leo. Now Leo is all about creativity, dynamism. It's all about, acting, politics, confidence, creative performance, luck, speculation. All these things are Leo. It's the throne, it's the king. Now this Leo is falling in the 8th house of your D1 chart. So the Navamsha chart 1st house rising is Leo, and this Leo is actually placed in the 8th house of your Lagna chart, that is the D9 chart. So what you need to do is, you need to bring romance and secrecy into your relationship. So 8th house is all about the underground, going deep and keeping things hidden, and this is falling in the 1st house of your Navamsha chart. So you have to keep your love, your romance, your creativity, your confidence and your ego with your life partner, but it has to be hidden. You must not express it directly to your life partner because it is falling in the 8th house. Now if this same Leo would have fallen in the 1st house of your Lagna chart, or say the 5th house of your Lagna chart, then I would say that, okay, fine, you can be egoistic, you can be speculative about your marriage, and you can be loud-mouthed, maybe that's the right word, about your romantic affairs with your wife, the romantic relationship and bond that you share with your spouse, rather, not wife. Now in this case, because Leo is falling in the 8th house of secrecy, so you have to keep the romantic part, the childbirth part, the creative part of your married life as a secret, hidden. Then your married life will sustain. So, to sum it up all together, see the first house of your Navamsha chart and find out which particular zodiac sign or Rashi is falling in that first house, and find out which particular house that zodiac sign is placed in your Lagna chart. So if it is Sagittarius, and Sagittarius is the first house of your Navamsha chart or D9 chart, the same Sagittarius might be placed in the 9th house of your Lagna chart, right? If it is a Cancer rising in the D9 chart and this Cancer sign is falling in the 4th house of your D1 chart, then you have to understand the attributes of the 4th house and you have to understand the nature of Cancer. You have to merge both and you have to bring this element into your relationship, into your married life. Then your married life will sustain. So I hope this video enlightened you, and I hope people who understand astrology a bit will realize the value of this video. People who didn't understand, please comment. Whenever I find the time, I will try to explain it to you, right? And if you like this video, hit the like button. If you didn't like this video, hit the dislike button, guys. It doesn't matter, but whatever it may be, show me your genuine reaction. I love you all. Wish you a happy new year and a happy prosperous 2022. Take care of yourself. Take care of the elderly people in your family, your mother, your father, your grandparents, and take care of the pets and stray animals around you. This is Purab signing off from Purab's Astrology. Adios. Jai Hind. Jai Bharat.